Hey guys, Buff from Game back, bringing another video today for our favorite weapon series, and today we're going to be covering the M4A1 used by Alex in the single-player mission Hunting Party. So we did something similar with this with the M13 from the Clean House and the Wolf's Den missions, and I'm kind of going back and covering interesting builds and using them online to see how they perform and if they're really viable for in-game multiplayer options. So in this video, we're going to be covering the M4 that Alex uses in that mission Hunting Party. I'm going to show you how to build it, and then we'll jump into some multiplayer gameplay with it, and so you can see how it handles in a real game situation. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So here is the final design for the M4 used by Alex in the Hunting Party mission. And again, in this mission, you're going into Ramaza Hospital in Kyrgyzstan to capture the Wolf. So Alex uses this when he goes in with Task Force Marines, and you get Sergeant Griggs in that mission as well. So you'll see, you should remember this weapon, and really what it is at base is a MK or a Mark 18 Mod 1 or even a Colt 933 series. So let's go ahead and strip this down. You can use the base M4 in-game for this particular build. So first off, if you're curious, I did cover all of the M4 builds prior to Season 1, so if you're curious on that video, I'll link that down below, and we cover all of the ones that I have here for my M4 blueprints, my custom ones as well as ones in-game, and then we added some additional ones after that fact in the weapon conversions and blueprint series. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check out that video linked below. And now jumping back to this, we're going to start with the base M4A1 to build the M4 that Alex used in Hunting Party. So for the muzzle on this, I'm going to go ahead and just slap a compensator on. It's not really clear in-game in the single-player mission what is on the weapon besides what's very visible. So can't really see the end of the barrel. There's definitely not a suppressor. So this is really personal preference. You could run a muzzle brake or even a compensator for this if you felt like it. So what I'm going to do is do the compensator. That way we get additional recoil control for our pros. The cons being ADS speed as well as aiming stability. Now we're going to keep the base barrel as used in the mission. Again, this base barrel really gives us a Mark 18 Mod 1 or even a Colt 933 Daniel Defense barrel on this particular weapon. So we'll go ahead and leave that. And then the laser we're also going to skip out on. Now for the optic in this single player mission, we're using a 4x flip hybrid. So the pros with this is that you have a hollow scout toggle as well as a zoom level going from just your standard holographic sight to the 4x flip sight. And then the cons being ADS speed, obviously, because we have that little bit of added weight on there with the sight itself. Let's go ahead and put that on. Now in that mission, we use a base buttstock. So this base stock is really just a BCM B5 enhanced salt mod buttstock. So we're going to go ahead and keep that tan buttstock that comes with the base M4. Now for the perk, just because we don't have a use for all 5 attachments, I decided to put on a perk for this in the multiplayer gameplay you'll see, and I'm going to put on frangible wounding. So this is going to inflict wounding effect on the enemy, allowing them not to heal as quickly as they usually would. So I felt this would be a good use for this weapon. Again, this is really personal preference though, but I think this gives you the most advantage for a perk slot, as well as Full Metal Jacket may have use as well. Let's go ahead and put that on. Now for the rear grip, I'm going to go ahead and put on the rubberized grip tape. It's not clear whether or not this is being used in the single player mission, but again, to kind of utilize our attachments, we're going to use the rubberized grip tape, and this is really personal preference, but I'm trying to add as much recoil control as I can while staying true to the weapon that we really see in-game in the single-player campaign. So we'll go ahead and put that on for the recoil control with the con being aiming stability. Now ammo, we're going to keep the base magazine here, which uses that windowed mag pull PMag, so you can count your rounds in real life. So obviously your other options here are the 50 rounds, 60 rounds Stenag, the 9mm Para, or the 4.58 SOCOM. So we're going to stick with the base 30 round magazine that comes in the single player mission with the base M4. And then our underbarrel, we're going to go ahead and slap on a M203 40mm high explosive grenade launcher. So we have one shot with this unless you run an additional perk for fully loaded, I believe it was. But obviously this is just going to give you an explosive underbarrel attachment. So the underbarrel grenade launcher being your pro, the con being ADS speed because we have that added weight, as well as the movement speed is going to be affected by this. But in-game, I really didn't notice much effect on the ADS speed. If you're really having an issue with it, you can put on a different grip. You can go ahead and slap on the stipple grip tape for ADS speed, or you could even go ahead and put a tack laser on. But really, you'll see in the gameplay, I didn't have any trouble with the ADS speed. This weapon is actually surprisingly very effective. Obviously, being that it is an M4A1 and it is the meta weapon in the game right now, hands down, even with the slight nerfs that it did have. It still is the best weapon in the game, and it really shows here. I jumped in with these attachments, and just every game I had with it was a really good game. So you'll see here in the gameplay, we're playing Kill Confirmed. I believe it was on Crash. I'm going to use this gameplay just because I don't get a chopper gunner in this one, but it really shows how the rifle performs in almost every situation at distance, CQC, and everything. I did have a really good night mission too, but I really want to highlight the weapon visually as well as different situations. In the night map I was playing was also Kill Confirmed, and we got an easy chopper gunner there. So I almost get it in this gameplay, but I wasn't as cautious as I should have been if I really wanted to get it. But I really had a really good game here, even though we ended up losing. But you really see how effective this rifle is. The 4-time flip sight, you can patrol lanes, get shots downrange very easily, and I even go toe-to-toe with a sniper in a few occasions here and was able to take him out just with some well-placed body or upper torso and headshots there. And also, we are playing in realism, so it is one-shot headshots. So if you're able to be accurate with your weapon, which that 4-time flip sight definitely helps, if you can just tap fire or even select fire to single and just hit a headshot, it's game over. So definitely a good benefit for that 4-time flip sight or any hybrid sight in the game is that you can toggle between the zoom and just the standard red dot sights, or in this case the holographic. I believe this flip sight is the only one that gives you a 4 times. All the other hybrid sights really only give you a 3.2, and I really do like the way this sight performs. I don't really use it in multiplayer too much, but for this build I definitely think I'll be revisiting it a little bit more. Now, the 203 grenade launcher, I also actually found a lot of use for this. You'll see I don't use it as much as I probably should have been, but in the situations where there may be enemies close together, or I know there's enemies around an object that I can fire over, or I know where the enemy is, I can get a quick shot off with a grenade launcher at them before they're able to really get eyes on me and counterfire. It works really well, and there's one spot in here where I think I hit a guy like dead on as he's jumping through the air. So it definitely has its uses, especially if you were running fully loaded. You'd be able to utilize that perk and carry full 2 or 3 grenade launchers. I believe it would be 2 or 3 grenades with you as well. So definitely running the noob tube, not as bad as it used to be in COD 4 for sure. It really pretty much not useless in this game, but if you're careful and choose how you use it and when, it definitely can pay off, I think, as you'll see here in the gameplay. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know down below what you think of this particular build. Have you used a similar build like this? Again, we cover it in the M4. We cover a lot of the builds in the M4 video that I did with all the M4 builds that were prior to Season 1. Now, obviously, we've had some more since then, so at some point, I'll probably have to update that video, especially now that we're going into Season 2. But let me know down below what you think of this build. Have you used this build before? I know we were talking in the Discord, which, by the way, the link is in the description for the Discord. We were talking about the Canadian version of this, the C8SFW, I believe it was called. A lot of you may remember this from Rainbow Six Siege. So we were having a pretty good discussion in the Discord last night about this as well. That particular weapon, which, again, very similar to this. Very similar build. I think a lot of you guys that were posting in the Discord were using just about the same exact build minus the grenade launcher for the most part. But overall, the M4, really anything you put on it, along with the M4 and the HK433 or the Kilo 141 are the most versatile weapons in the game as far as attachments go for sure. And I think they're both 2 of the best weapons. So let me know what you think below. Also, stay tuned for Season 2 coverage coming here on Tuesday. We have Ghost confirmed. We have the SIG 522 confirmed, as well as the new SMG, the LWRC SMG 45. So it's an American made instead of an H&K UMP. So very similar looking, but not the exact same weapon. Maybe with the conversions that they'll give us for that, we can turn it into more of a UMP 45 from H&K, but we'll have to see what kind of attachments they give us for both of these weapons. I'm really looking forward to playing around both of those and seeing what we get, as well as I'm sure there will be probably a 3rd weapon added sometime down the road, as we saw the crossbow added at the end of Season 1 here. We also have Ghost confirmed as well. A lot of different new blueprints, different operator skins, and the question is who's the second operator that we'll end up seeing down the road, like we saw Nikito or Nikto in the midway through Season 1. So we'll have to stay tuned and see who comes for Season 2 here besides Ghost. So stay tuned. Let me know what you guys think below. We'll be doing a giveaway coming up here. I got to announce that this weekend at some point, probably tomorrow. We'll be doing a giveaway for Season 2. Be doing 2 $35 gift cards for your console of choice. That way you can either buy into the Battle Pass or use it to purchase COD points, blueprints, bundles, whatever you want. So stay tuned for that. I'll be giving away details most likely tomorrow, and I will be posting it also in the Discord, on the YouTube posts, and most likely up on social media if you follow me there. All those links are down below. So go ahead and let me know what you guys think of this. Are you excited for Season 2? And until next time, Buffer Gaming, out.
Friendly precision airstrike. Kill confirmed.
Enemy at the hotel. Enemy near Main Street.
Enemy personal radar in the air. We're falling behind. Regroup. Kill confirmed. Enemy sentry gun active. Less than a minute. Cruise missile go for launch.
Grid's marked. Call for fire.
Jaguar secure. Enemy care package inbound. Last target, no KIA. 30 seconds. Time's up. Move your ass. Roll back, soldier.
Change your
Fight another
mags.
day.